Carol Viventi, and I live in East Lansing, Michigan. I have I have both apraxia and aphasia.
If you are comfortable with it, can you share the story of how you acquired your aphasia?
Sure. My I was going to the paint state paint store, and it was very close to where I live, and my daughter, my younger daughter, was with me, and she was right by the store, by the car, and I fell down, and I was laying down, and I couldn't, I was not talking very well. I wasn't talking hardly at all, but whatever I was saying, it was garbled. So she called the um, paramedics, and we went to the hospital. And then they said, "Oh, you had a stroke." And I think I still didn't really know what was going on or what was wrong. Wasn't real clear. And I seriously didn't think for quite a while. I mean, I actually went to work. I just said, I kept to people, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'll be, give me a few days, give me another day or two, and I'll be just fine." And and as it turned out, I never did return to work. I can walk. I go for walks. Oh, I can drive. Um, so that's great. I knew from very early. I was just determined. I actually was just I was going to go back to work. I'm always been one of those, okay, if I'm going to study, let's just study. Or if I'm going to do something, let's just do it. So for my daughters, both kept saying, well, you'll have to do therapy, and you have to try this. I didn't know what aphasia was, but my daughters, I think they had, because they could on the internet, they could do, look more whatever they were doing, and so they they got me into the program. And I said, okay, if they did research, and they looked, and it said that this is about this is a very good program. I think it was a really good program because it was so structured. Every day you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. So it wasn't just learning, my speech, but it was uh, also meeting other people who have aphasia, and understanding that everyone is affected differently. So I've referred um, several people to the program because I thought it was just so it fit for me. Dictionaries were helpful. I've made my own. I learned that there's some words that it's kind of like, oh, how do I say that word? And so I just made my own, like, oh yeah, I remember that word now. It's kind of like somebody told me this once, if you never had a sister or a brother, you don't know that you need a sister or a brother, because you don't know what you don't know. And that's the way I feel like aphasia. I don't know what I don't know until I don't know. It's not like you can just go, "Oh, well, I guess I won't. I guess I just won't know that word." Oh, it's like, no, I want that word. It's like important to know that word. So
Why is aphasia awareness important?
I think it's because there are not that many people who know what aphasia is. I don't know. It's very hard, in this world to not be able to people understand what you're saying. It's like if you were saying a different language. My husband has Parkinson's, and so he's at the later stages of Parkinson's, and then I have aphasia, And so the two of us need support. I'm lucky because right now I have my husband and I have myself, and then I have my daughter and fiance who live here, but I have people every day to come into the house to help Jim, mostly to help Jim, my husband. I'm very independent, and I think you want to be independent, but I think I'm realized now, and it's 3 years from my stroke. I mean, it's better and it gets better all the time, um, but it's not ever going to be exactly the way it was. The thing I would say is, keep going and have hope. So I would encourage everyone to, just talk to your neighbor, even if you can't talk. Just, start with a word or two, and keep going.